Good morning. We enter into the first Sunday of May. Women's Month. The feminine energy moving through us all. The feminine energy is not about gender. It's about emotions, feelings, understanding, intuitiveness, moving up to touch the hem of truth. John 4:3-42, the story of the woman at the well. A place to go deeper. What is the well but to dip your consciousness deeper than the surface of what we've been living as thus far? Some metaphysical asking, seeking, and knocking on the door of your own consciousness. It is the soul searching to bear witness to itself, for after all, the soul is the house in which the Spirit of God dwells. The story indicates that the Jews, which represents self-awareness, belonging to the inner life consciousness, one of praise. And then it talks about the Samaritans, which is the worldly / religious. You know how we have one foot in and one foot out? So Jesus was traveling through that. So with the Jews and the Samaritans, it may appear that the master teacher was traveling through hostile territory. Because you know, when somebody is not like us, don't think like us, don't feel like us, we deem them separate. When we are all one in truth. And that's why we gather here today, to recognize and to realize that we are one. And we don't have to spend not 1 second judging or criticizing another, but stand in our truth and stand up tall, yes, so that we can truly represent and demonstrate who God created us to be. Yes. So even though Jesus was going through what appeared to be a divided stream of consciousness, he chose to dwell at the well while the disciples went to go get some food. The woman who came along was surprised to see a Jew at the well, because they deemed that an arid land, which means dry or desert-like. But still, the consciousness of hospitality was commonplace, and it was offered to all. So the woman offered to draw some water from the well for the master teacher. She was talking to him, and then she realized that this master teacher knew many things about her. He told her that she had 5 former husbands, and that one, see this next, that's what she went through. And that one with whom she now lived with was not her husband. So in her mind, she was wondering, just the gasp that you all gave, and how in the world would you know this about me? He told her, those that worship God must worship God in spirit. She reminded him that the Samaritans, which was mixed thoughts, are not allowed to worship in the temple in Jerusalem peace. But she realized he was either prophet / Messiah, one who received insight from on high, an anointed one. So that means that when she got there, while the master teacher was there, she was able to touch the hem. So what that tells us is that while we're going through turmoil, because the 5 husbands only represent the 5 senses. That means when we're caught up in outside things, we're not paying attention to the inside voices. Right. See, Spirit is talking to each of us every second, every moment of every day. But if we're caught up in the outside. See, she knew something wasn't right with her. Because why a fifth husband? We're continuously trying to find things outside of ourselves. When you get to number 5, it's time to have a sermon at LA Third Church to tell you. It's time to look within. Our stories in the Bible are metaphors. The things that we're hearing, they're only talking to our inside, because if we just read it letter for letter, it's talking about something that happened thousands of years ago, and if we take it literally, it can't help us. But if we go metaphysically, that means go to the well. She went to the well to go deeper, because she knew something was out of whack. Because I'm on number 5, so I need to go deeper. I need to dig deeper within myself. And the master teacher, by saying that Jesus was there, all it was saying is that she went to meet her Christ nature. Yeah. See, everything is all about us individually. It is never about the outside of us, because the outside, which is your 5 senses, will have you go to and fro. Come on now. And never go. We've come to find out who we are and whose we are. Yes. We are children of the Most High God. Yes. We were created individually, and we were set free to discover true life for ourselves. Right. That means that God is not forcing us to awaken at a certain age, at a certain destination, or depending upon your degrees or not. Spirit is saying, just awaken and open yourself up, and you'll complete it. And if you just happen to keep falling down, so be it. You fall down enough, maybe you'll stand up when you know the truth. Hello. Yes. See? So after the master teacher, her spiritual self, her Christ nature, revealed to her the truths about herself and to get in touch with her inner truth, she ran back to the city to tell of her experience. Is that not like us? When we come and something awakens to us and we can't wait to tell all the people that we know that I've had an awakening, I've had an epiphany, that I know some things. I understand this teaching. I understand my purpose. I understand. That's what she did. She ran back to the city. So let's look at this. Jesus represents our spiritual nature, our Christ nature. The woman is our feeling nature that has been misled by the 5 husbands, our physical senses. The woman always felt like something was not quite right. So the feeling nature has to get in balance. And that's why, men, it ain't just women's month. If you've noticed that if you slice up one man, you're at the end of that man. We're all made in the image and likeness of the one. Father, Mother, God means the masculine and feminine energy that is the one. We're all one. We got to bring our masculine and feminine energy into balance. Because we've been told by society that men are supposed to be strong on the outside, do this and do that. And they've been told that they can't cry, they can't feel emotions, because if they do, then we label, right? And then when the woman is strong, And she's able to lead a company or lead a church. Then people think otherwise because we've been told by society without listening to the inner us that it's all good.
Yes.
That it's all good, so we have to come to balance it. We should be able to lead. First of all, lead self. Oh, we're giving the lights. And then men, you're supposed to be able to show your emotions without a thought of anything wrong with that. You should be able to feel what you feel. And we should all come together to balance one another. Each one teach one. Each one love one another. We must commune and retreat to the Spirit of God within. The Christ nature was there. The Christ nature is always there. Wherever you go, there is not a spot where God is not. We can stop at any moment and commune to lift up our higher selves. We think that we're talking to something outside of us, to a God up in heaven. But how could you be created out of the image and likeness of God and not be able to commune with the inside of you?
Come on now.
So wherever you are, commune with that higher power. So when we're praying to the higher power within us to lift us up, because God has already given us everything that we need. So we can't pray to the outside to fix us. We must pray to the inside to awaken us. See, there is nothing that you need that you don't have. Our journey is to discover and uncover the greatness that's within each of us. When we see ourselves without, it is only because there is a consciousness that allowed a lane for the without to drive. It's hard to believe that. It is hard to believe that God gave us that much power.
Yes.
To be as I think, so am I. And as I sow, so shall I reap. We think that there is something outside that's dictating our lives. But New Thought came to say, tank so. It said in the beginning, I'm going to make everything that y'all need. And then I'm going to make each of you in my image and my likeness. And because I love you so much, I want to set you free to discover life at your pace. That's love. Unconditional love. Because most of us try to tell people what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. When God has set us free to discover life for ourselves. Spirit, truth, don't have to play games with us. We can trust truth completely. When we can gather our whole being in the presence of light, love, peace, and joy, all negative thoughts, hurts, doubts, worry, and anguish, our whole city of thoughts and our whole state of consciousness, if you will, presents itself in the Christ nature. All is harmonized and lifted up by spiritual truth. When the Christ nature, our spirituality, appears in our awareness, all deception and pain disappears. If we can just be still enough to know that everything will right itself with little effort on our part. We do not have to wake up to help the universe lift up the sun. It comes up by itself. We do not have to meet at a certain time to hold the stars and the moon. We do not have to help the animals to have their babies and do what they do. It happens automatically. All we need to do is be still sometimes and know that there is something greater than just this human realm. There is something spiritual that gives itself great pleasure to re-gift us the kingdom. Already gave it to us. But you know how we do? We get gifts from people, and then we say we can't use it, so I'm going to just re-wrap it. And give it to somebody else. So Spirit is re-gifting us.
Yes.
The promise, the covenant. We don't have to search inside of ourselves. If we can just touch the hem of truth, that I am all God needs. Me by myself. Remember the young girl who saw the thunder and lightning, and she just imagined that that was God taking a picture of her? That's what happens every single day. God remembers each of us in every moment. That's our thing. What are you expecting? What are you embracing? What are you enjoying? Expect, embrace, enjoy. It is up to each of us to look around our lives and see how our senses are interacting. Are we lost in them, trusting outer things to fulfill us? Are we avoiding living by isolating ourselves to one part of our mind? We must be in touch and manage every part of our thinking. Why? Because it affects our life experiences. I've been watching Wayne Dyer, and I think a lot of people don't know that he made his transition. He fulfilled his purpose. He completed his assignment. And he left some nuggets and some wisdom for us to live by, those of us that followed him. But one of the things that he talked about, because I tape his shows and they continue to show his shows, is that he talked about a person who was getting ready to go out and run some errands. And that person was looking for their keys. And the lights went out in the community, like I heard they went out in Leimert Park yesterday. And then he couldn't find his keys. So he looked and looked and looked and looked. And then he said, oh, there is the lamppost outside. I'm going to go out there and look for my keys. And so he's out there looking for the keys, and someone comes to help and say, well, what are you looking for? Let me help you. Says, I'm looking for my keys. So the two of them start to look for the keys. And after a while, the person that came to help said, well, when did you lose them? And he said, in the house. And he said, well, why we out here looking? He said, it's where the light is. But there was a message there. There was a moral in that story. So often, if not always, our stuff happens on the inside. But so often we go outside. Don't go outside. Don't be afraid of the inside. There is this image and likeness of God that's within each of us. And we don't have to go outside of ourselves to find the answer to our healing, our resource, our supply, our leader, our guidance. Don't be afraid of yourself.
Yes.
There is a part of you that's greater than you could ever imagine. And we've come here today to uncover and discover the greatness of God. That's what we need to Wayne Dyer also talks about this that I found very pertinent. It says our source is awaiting our recognition. But could it be that our channel to high expectation is corroded, severed, blocked, or shut off? Could our channel to embracing be corroded, severed, blocked, or shut off? Could the channel to enjoy this thing that we call life be corroded, severed, blocked, or shut off? Life is asking us to unblock our circuits, to unblock our feeling tone, to unblock that keeps you from expressing and experiencing complete joy. It doesn't matter what happens to us in life. What matters is what we do with what happens to us in life. If we realize and unify and recognize that there is a power greater than all that can happen to us on the outside, then we can truly expect for something greater to unfold. We can truly embrace the Spirit of God that is always willing and able to bless us, heal us, gift us, and we can truly enjoy the process. That is the thing, is to enjoy your journey, to stop completeness. I mean, to keep going, because you're not just going to God, you're going to your higher self. And you say, Lord, if they just keep doing this to me, Lord, they didn't pay me back. No. And do you realize that as we complain, as we feel sick and tired and sick, that those are moments that we are not empowering the good that's trying to get into our lives. Something greater. Can we embrace the greatness as it comes in? And can we enjoy the process as we journey? Can you imagine embracing and knowing that what we call challenges or problems or issues is only a call for you to open up wider your consciousness and your heart center so that you can feel the power? Teachers call us to a higher standard. That's why we get graded. The universe is all that could ever be. The Spirit of God within you is all that could ever be. So can it be that our journey is calling us higher?
Yes.
Asking us to expect more, to embrace more, and to enjoy the life. All the news that we hear is only because we're not expecting greater, only because we're not embracing the Spirit of God, only because we're not enjoying what God has given us. So if you can't embrace and enjoy and expect greater, then you're going to get the Lord. You can only withdraw from your bank account when you put something in. Go there and ask them for something you can put nothing in. And your credit ain't demonstrating that you're worried. So we're celebrating Women's Month this month. We're celebrating the feminine aspect of spirit. Unconditional love has the power to heal and to harmonize. This opens our heart center. We don't have to be hard. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to have regrets. We can start anew right now. We can expect something greater, having awakened and came here today to lift up ourselves. You come here, I would pray, expecting something greater. I would expect that when you walk in here, you know that you're not walking up the stairs. That there are channels and portals and compartments in the consciousness that allows you to receive the Spirit of God even greater. And if you receive and recognize that power and you unify with it, then you can realize more in your life. Ernest Holmes says that the feminine is the universal medium soul, which has been called the womb of nature and the holy mother because it is receptive to the Spirit and is impregnated with divine ideas. The feminine aspect gives birth to ideas of the Spirit and is therefore the feminine principle of nature. So we are not talking about gender, but the vehicle for God's word to unfold. See, God spoke a word and Mother Earth received the word. That's how we get vegetation. So can you imagine God's word impregnating each one of us with divine ideas? So that the career choice you're looking for, the healing you're looking for, the relationships you're looking for, you can only have them when you allow the Spirit of God to impregnate you with those creative ideas. And when we're impregnated, we give birth. And when we give birth, there is a manifestation demonstration. There is a testimony. And that's how the world evolves, is each one teach one, each one tell one of the goodness of God.
Yes.
So one day, and it could be this day, this moment, that we realize that I'm greater than I ever thought I could be.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave here standing up straighter, taller, recognizing and unifying with more than I ever have before. Because now I truly know that as I think, so am I. A spiritual awakening will blow open our consciousness. And as a result, we will be open and become receptive to the creative ideas of spirit. Our subconscious mind will no longer hold us back with fears and self-sabotage. We then will find ourselves full of confidence. Our spirit will gain a sense of wholeness and peace of mind. A spiritual awakening allows us to put the struggles of the world behind us. Most of all, we will expect the best that life has to offer. We will embrace that oneness with the divine and enjoy the wonderful blessings that come in the forms of healing, resource supply, fulfilling relationships, success, abundance, prosperity in every area of our lives. To expect is to anticipate, to look forward to believe that something will certainly unfold. To embrace is to take, to accept, to clasp, to enclose, to seize eagerly, to lay hold on, to receive or take with willingness that which is being offered. To enjoy is to take delight in, pleasure in, to appreciate. If we are to receive good, and whatever that good may mean for each of us, we must expect that good. We must anticipate it. We must look forward to that good. We must embrace the good, take it with willingness, accept it, and then delight in the good, appreciate the good. But it only takes place in mind. See, in chapter 18, Law of Attraction, Ernest Holmes says this: thought can attract to us that which we first mentally embody and expect. That which has become a part of our mental makeup, a part of inner understanding. Each one of us is surrounded by thought atmosphere. And this atmosphere is a direct result of our conscious or unconscious thought. which in turn becomes the direct reason for and the cause of that which comes into our lives. Through this power, we are either attracted or repelling. We are either calling health forth, or we are saying, I am sick. We are calling financial supply and resource, or we're saying, I am broke. We are either calling the divine right relationship and the perfect companion, or we are saying, there is nobody out there for me. They're either locked up or this or that. That's our conversation. We are repeating what world says instead of what God says. Let me say this. On the ark, if the animals can have a mate and go on a cruise, think about the ark. We should daily attach ourselves by our name and declare the truth about ourselves, realizing that we are reflecting our statements into consciousness, and that they will operate upon universal law. The universe hears and obeys. Therefore, we activate the word by our faith, our trust, and our beliefs. So we have to be careful on how we are attaching our name and to what we are attaching our name to. You want to attach your name to being whole, perfect, and complete. You want to attach your name to having everything needed and desired. We want to attach our name to living a dynamic life, having dynamic experiences every moment of every day. Be careful what you say about yourself. Be careful what you ask for, because you will get it, because the law is in full effect.
Yeah, that's right.
How high is your expectation for your life? I'm not talking about the momentary things. They are absolutely wonderful. A new job, a new love, new things, an anticipated phone call are all wonderful. But then we're talking about our moment to moment, our day to day. We got to have joy in our heart. We got to have expectation every moment of every day. No matter what comes, there is a power greater for good, and we can use it. And the question is, are we using it every moment of every day? In the beginning of this New Thought movement, Phineas Quimby in the 1800s, healer in the New Thought movement, awakened to the belief system that illness originated in the mind. And as a consequence of these beliefs, it does itself in the body. As a man thinketh, the human, so it is. So when we think about illness and sickness, regardless of a pain, if we think about it long enough, it has the opportunity to take root in the body. And so Phineas Quimby wanted to train a new way of thinking, that even though the appearance and maybe the feeling, the mind is so powerful, it can shift it. It can heal it. It can remind itself of the wholeness, the image and likeness in which God created. That's what we're supposed to do, is always go back to the beginning. Genesis talks about the beginning, made in the image and likeness of. Click your heels, Dorothy. Come back home to the truth. We cannot let any circumstance and situation detour the image and likeness that we were created out of. So I'm saying today expect something greater. In your body, in your relationship, in your finance, in your life, in your neighborhood, in your community. If there is not a consciousness to expect something greater, greater can't come. It's waiting. It's waiting at the door. But it only until we open the door.
That's right.
Of our consciousness can it come in.
That's right.
People stand behind their door while the ushers are there. They can't come in until the ushers open the door. Our good can't come until we open the door of our mind and our heart center to bear witness to the truth. Quimby says the troubles is in mind, for the body is only the house of the mind that dwells in it. Isn't that mind over matter?
Yeah.
If our head is cut off and there's no thinker, the body will sit there and rot. We move our arms because of mind.
That's right.
Let the mind of God, be your guide. Quimby says, therefore, in our mind has been deceived by some invisible enemy into belief, which has put into the form of dis-ease, lack, poverty, low self-esteem. With or without our knowledge, this is where our practitioners come into play. This is what Moses did, Jesus did, Quimby did, MLK did, O.C. Smith, Dr. Ronald Jones, Reverend Smith. All of our saviors and avatars recognize, unify, and realize the truth. And so we come to correct low thinking, limited thinking, and allow you to open your mind to high thinking, high vibration. Lift up your expectation. Embrace life. Enjoy the journey that you're on. After all, you call it forth. Spiritual thinking is established in eternal truth. And that truth will set us free. So you see, this month is about getting real with self. Truly expecting something greater for our lives. Embracing that greatness in the heart center and enjoy the process of spiritual growth. It starts with the heart center. Our motto is, whatever the question, love is the answer. And in true love, our entire being becomes and is more loving. And where you're more loving, there is no room for judgment or criticism. With love at the core of our heart, life tends to come to us in a way that is in full alignment with who our Christ nature is. Our journey is to uncover and discover the beauty of God. All else will fall away. To expect, to embrace, and to enjoy is the wonder of God, to finding our true self. Expect your higher self to show you something different. Embrace it as it unfolds and enjoy it as it comes. Yes. Amen? Amen. And so it is.